And Congress is looking to pass a bill overturning D.C.'s move to decouple from certain federal tax provisions. It's creating major uncertainty in the middle of tax filing season, and city officials are warning the change could delay local returns and even force some taxpayers to refile. So joining us this morning to break down what this means for residents of the district and what steps you need to take right now is Katie Stanton with tax analyst. And first, Katie, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. This is a complicated issue that we really want to help our viewers and us understand. So let's start with what's the most important thing that DC taxpayers need to know right now.
Absolutely. The most important thing to keep in mind is that things are in flux right now. Like you mentioned, the Senate passed a resolution on Thursday that blocks DC's changes to the local tax system and reverts them back to, the federal changes made in the Republican tax bill last year. Now, President Trump hasn't signed the bill into law yet, so it hasn't taken effect, and the city is still accepting local tax returns. But overall, it's going to cause a lot of confusion and delays for district residents and businesses during and even after filing season concludes because of the potential of people needing to refile and the filing season being delayed a couple of months.
We made a big deal. Everybody does. Tax season is now. You can start to file right now, and it's due on April 15th and all that. So what about people who have already filed their DC taxes? What's their next move?
Yeah, if this resolution is signed into law by the president and the DC leadership doesn't end up mounting a legal challenge, those individual taxpayers and businesses, there's thousands of them now, who have already filed under the local tax code passed by the DC Council, will have to file amended returns. They'll likely have a new deadline to do so. It won't be April. It'll likely be a couple of months later. But, if you've already filed, that's definitely something to pay attention to if this goes into effect. And we'll probably know the answer to that in the next couple of weeks.
We were just showing the council chair there, Phil Mendelson. And as far as DC is concerned, does this put, filers in the district at a disadvantage? What's the big picture here for what could happen?
Yeah, like we talked about, it's a lot of confusion. It's going to possibly be some delays. It could mean that the filing season, if this goes into effect, will probably be suspended, which means things will happen a lot later. While the impact on people's individual refunds is unclear because it depends on the deductions you claim, the credits you claim, and your filing status, it could definitely need some changes. And two specific credits are something to pay attention to here. The local child tax credit and the earned income tax credit are both areas that would see really big changes if this goes into effect. And that could definitely impact your refund if you had already claimed or were planning to claim those at the local level. The federal level, however, that's not going to change. If you've already filed your federal return, that's going to stay intact, and that's something you could file without any adjustments needing to be made.
We've been talking a lot about some folks might see a couple $100 more, up to $1,000 for other filers. Is there an upside for DC residents here?
Yeah, either way, there's going to be changes from your filing season last year at the local level to this year. That's either going to be because some of these One Big Beautiful Bill Act Republican tax bill changes go into effect if this is upheld, or because, the DC Council hoped to make some changes to those two credits I mentioned. At the federal level, there is an overall expectation that refunds are going to be larger because of the big tax cuts in that Republican tax bill. But, it's definitely going to be a change for people. And, the adjustment between the two different versions of what's going on at the DC level is one thing, but last year to this year, the expectation is a refund increase for a good number of people.
Okay, we're out of time, Katie, but short answer, talk to a tax specialist.
Yes, definitely. Keep in touch, keep apprised of information coming out of the DC Council, DC leadership, the White House, and stay in touch with either your tax preparation company or your practitioner as things move forward.
All right, Katie Stanton, thank you so much for sharing that knowledge with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.